Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going today? So, over the past holiday, me and a few of my family members decided to watch this movie called Monster Party. And some of you might know that I'm also not the biggest horror fan in the world, but I can definitely appreciate the genre. For example, I thought It was probably one of the better movies that came out in 2017, and also, it's not weird for me to put in a movie from, say, I don't know, the Saw franchise or the Purge franchise. So I am a casual fan, and I also like satire movies, but this particular movie, it kind of did that weird thing where it wasn't trying to be good, but it also was trying to be bad, but it didn't quite break through that barrier necessarily. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but just bear with me for a second here. The basic plot of the movie is it's about three teenagers who like to case the joint and like break into houses and steal shit. So then all three of them get hired to work at this banquet at this gigantic mansion. And while they're working the banquet, they figure out what the banquet's all about, and then a bunch of crazy shit happens and everything goes awry. Now, the weird thing about this movie is it actually started off kind of cool. It just shows the kids, they're in their element, they're doing their little heisty thing, and I kind of liked what the female character did in that moment. But then as the movie kept progressing, it just got shittier and worse and worse. But then it progressed to the point where it got so unbelievably shitty that basically everybody I was watching the movie with was just like, there's no fucking way they don't know what they're doing right now. So at a certain point, it was obvious that they were trying to satirize something, but it just didn't do it. It was inconsistent about it throughout the entire movie. Because like in that opening scene, it starts off super serious, and then it shows you a motivation for a particular character that is super serious that ultimately doesn't end up meaning that much. And I also noticed that a lot of the acting was not consistent with other people's acting. Prime example, the guy from Nip Tuck is in this movie, and he's like, you know, purposely over the top, kind of like Santa Clarita Diet, trying to overact on purpose. But then there's a character played by Robin Tunney who is just 100% serious the entire time. And then there's like this group of douchey frat boy kind of characters that are just flat out fucking annoying. And I get what they were trying to do, but it just ended up being like a really unwatchable area of the movie. Whereas conversely, if you take a movie like the Netflix movie The Babysitter, there were characters in that movie that were annoying and cookie cutter you've seen a million times, but they also had this kind of cinematic charm and charisma that you enjoyed watching them on the screen. But in this movie, all those kinds of characters, you just want to punch them in the fucking face. It's like they were attempting awkward humor, but they failed miserably at it. I will say, though, that the part that I really enjoyed was the entire third act of the movie, because that's when the ridiculous meter goes to 1,000. And if I'm being completely honest, that whole third act is probably the reason why me and my family are gonna laugh about it come Christmas time. But anyway, after everything I've said, it's not a wholly bad movie. There was a good seed of an idea in there, but in my opinion, it did kind of fail to be consistently inconsistent, so I think for a score out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 4.3. If you're a big fan of horror, you'll probably find something enjoyable about this movie, and if you're not, you might find a little bit of hilarity in the third act. That's the best I can do for you. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you heard of this movie? Have you seen it? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, to all that other bullshit that makes the channel look good, and I will catch you guys later.